I'm so tired. But Trent's been here and has messed up my whole situation, and I can't find my folder. Not my folder. Did I mention I'm tired? My holder for my camera. It's going to be somewhere here. This is what happens every time Trent comes to visit. We get crazy, we get hectic, we have a great time. Neither of us sleep. I was awake for 52 hours on the weekend. And then he goes away and my place is left in shambles. Oh, look at this. It's right here. Sick, let's go. I had actually written a script for this video that I recorded and started editing the video yesterday when Trent was here before he left. And it just sounded so bad. I couldn't finish it. And I thought, look, I'm just going to wait until tomorrow when hopefully I won't be so tired and shoot it off the cuff.
That's my style, sir.
Because the voiceover just sounded real forced. No, not forced. It didn't sound real. No, it didn't sound like me. I'm a rambler, you know. They're the videos that I enjoy making. Anyway, I don't have a huge amount of time, so we can't do a huge amount of rambling. So what I will do is I'll use the script as a little guide to have a little bit of an update. Now, I'm back from work, finished up my 12-hour shift, and I had a 10-hour shift yesterday, 12 hours today, another 10 hours tomorrow, and then I only have a 10-hour break, and then I'm back for another 12-hour shift. It's absolutely hectic, on top of what was already a super hectic weekend with Trent. Now, I had an amazing time. It was so good. Not just with Trent, but on the weekend we went to Pox. Pox is like a little indie gaming event. I'd never heard of it before. Trent had contacted me a couple of weeks ago and said, I'm coming over for this little show called Pox. You should grab a ticket and come along. And I'm really, really glad I went. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to because sometimes I get weekend shifts. But it worked out. I grabbed a ticket, we went along, and it was so much fun. I had a great time. You know, I met a bunch of people, which was, you know, they were all super, super nice. A lot of them watch my channel, either here or in Rubbish In, Rubbish Out. Or the terrain was gorgeous. Not a lot of scratch built sort of stuff. There was a whole bunch of printed terrain, but painted and looked gorgeous. It was really, really fun. A lot of small little indie games. I think Trent mentioned it in his vlog update. I also played a game of something called Creature, which is a little skirmish game in which you play the monsters, you play the creatures, and you're trying to survive, I guess, whilst being hunted by the... what I gather is like an NPC. It's written by... let me check my script. Written by Stuart De Silva. He also wrote the untitled pirate game I'd mentioned in Trent's video. Now, I didn't really film a lot on the weekend when Trent was here. I knew that he'd be filming, so I didn't film a great deal. But the time I spent at Pox was so good. I played some Mordheim, small, you know, I say played some Mordheim, but it was really kind of just like, let's roll some dice and anything's with fours, hit and wound and stuff, and let's move around. And it was good fun. It was so much, I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't played Mordheim for such a long time. You know, the last time I remember playing, I was going to say I don't remember, but the last time I remember playing was years ago with Scott. I think maybe even back when I had my shop, which I closed in 2012, and I raged quit after my vampire had tripped and fell down like a little 1-inch ledge and died. And then I was like, nah, stop this game. But it was so nice. That was great fun. That that game of Creature though, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. That got me thinking a lot about my game Mirrors of Tulan, which Scott and I worked on at the studio for a while on and off. I would like to get back to that game. I have opened up the rules a couple of times, but the miniatures are gorgeous. They're like the original Mordheim stuff, old school fantasy sort of stuff. Anton de Croo from Flytrap Factory sculpted those for me, and we gave him a brief and said, this is what the factions look like, and this is their flavor, and this is a bit of their background. But you go nuts, man. You as the sculptor, just have fun and create me something old school and fun. And he didn't disappoint. He really created some fantastic miniatures. And so playing that game of Creature really has gotten me motivated to get back into that. A, working on the rules, but B, get the miniatures out. I spent a huge amount of money. And Anton has done some amazing work creating these wonderfully, characterful fantasy miniatures, old school, that they deserve to be painted. They deserve to be played with. They deserve to be shared. So, on the weekend with Trent, we scanned a bunch of Fiendish Fabrication models, old sculpts by Ian Hemming that I bought from him in 2015. I'll let you go over to Trent's channel to watch that. Again, like I said, I didn't really film a lot on the weekend while Trent was here. I just wanted to spend the time. I'm not a YouTuber, right? It's been great fun sharing my hobby again on YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber. And I really enjoy my time with Trent. We don't get to catch up very often, but we both really hype each other up. And I just wanted to enjoy that experience, that time with him, and not have to worry about trying to record content or make sure I capture stuff. Obviously, I regret some of that because I'd love to have some clips of our time together, and next time we catch up, I'll need to make sure that I do that. But we scanned some of the Fiendish Fabrication miniatures, and then we processed them and released them free on itch.io. And it's been so nice to see, what did I check last time? Got back from work about half an hour ago. I think 778 downloads for those miniatures. I'll leave the link obviously in the description. You can go check that out. But I'm super excited to get the Mirrors of Tulan figures scanned. Those I don't know if I'll release for free. I spent 20 grand on those miniatures. Obviously I spent money buying Ian's figures back in 2015, but they're old school and have been out of production for a long time. They've already previously been on the market anyway. I want to get those done. I'm going to do more of the Fiendish Fabrication ranges or miniatures. I'm going to do more miniatures from the Fiendish Fabrication range, as well as stuff from the Pulp 28s range that I bought from him. But that game, really not awoken that in me, but reminded me that, hey, listen, I've got this cool game that, Scott and I, wrote and play tested and developed, and I play tested it with Ara a couple of times. He thinks it's a good game. So I want to get back into that. Now I can really enjoy it as a hobby. I'm trying to get, my 20 minutes of painting in, sort of after work, so we can kill two birds with one stone. A, I can get my painting done. B, we can have a ramble and see if we can catch up on what's been happening since we last touched base. So POX was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm so glad that I went. I wasn't not going to go. I just wasn't sure if I'd be able to because of my shifts and my roster and whatnot. But the stars aligned, and I had a great time.